Hello dear students, welcome to the class of Immunology. In this video lecture, we will be understanding about antibodies. This is Dr. Devyani Sharma from Sri Rawatpura Sarkar University, Faculty of Science, and in today's lecture, we will understand about the structure of antibodies and the different classes of immunoglobulins. So, these antibodies, which are also called as immunoglobulins, are protective proteins produced by the immune system in response to the presence of a foreign substance, which are called as the antigen. And these immunoglobulins are really specialized glycoproteins which are produced from activated B cells, that is the plasma cells. So the glycoproteins are the special kind of proteins which is composed of a carbohydrate molecule and a protein molecule. And these antibodies or immunoglobulins are capable of combining with the antigen that has triggered their response. So, these antibodies or immunoglobulins was first of all studied in detail by A. Tiselius in 1939 when he was performing the serum electrophoresis. During this experiment, he found that the serum electrophoresis showed 4 different peaks. So, it denoted that it consists of 4 different kind of proteins, and these proteins were albumin and 3 different types of globulin proteins, that is alpha, beta and gamma. So these antibodies were a part of the gamma globulin fractions, and they were immunologically reactive with the antigen, and they were also named immunoglobulins by A. Tiselius only. So this was how antibodies were discovered. So these antibodies or immunoglobulins, they constitute about 20 to 25% of the total serum proteins present in the plasma. And there are 5 different kinds of immunoglobulins, which are also called as isotypes. These are IgG, IgA, IgM, IgD and IgE. So let us understand the structure of antibodies in detail. So these antibodies are Y-shaped heterodimers, and they consist of different polypeptide chains, and these polypeptide chains are 2 identical light chains and 2 identical heavy chains. So these antibodies are quite heavy molecules, which are also called as globular plasma proteins. The size of antibody molecule is around 10 nanometer, and they have sugar chains added to the conserved amino acid residues. So that is why they were called as glycoproteins. So the attached glycans or the carbohydrate molecules are critically very important to the structure and function of the antibody. And among other things, the expressed glycans can modulate an antibody affinity for its corresponding FCRs, which we will understand in the later coming slides. So these 2 identical chains are 25 kilodaltons each, and they consist of 2 different types, either kappa or lambda. And they 2 identical heavy chains are there, which are just double the size of the light chain molecules. As we can see here in the structure, that they both are connected with a hinge region, and they both have these disulfide bonds in between. And moving on, these 5 different classes of immunoglobulins are classified according to the structure, classified according to the molecular weight. So IgG molecule is also called as the gamma, IgA is called alpha, IgM is called mu, and IgD is called delta, and IgE is called as the epsilons. So let us continue understanding the structure of antibodies in detail. So these H and L chain, as I just told that they are bounded with the disulfide bonds. And there are several other non-covalent interactions like the salt linkages, the hydrogen bonds and the hydrophobic bonds. And there are 2 ends of the antibody structure. The one end consists of the amino terminus, that is NH3, and the other end consists of the carboxyl terminal, that is COOH. And there are 2 very peculiar different regions, which are variable and the constant region. As the name suggests, the variable region consists of the changed amino acid sequences, and the constant regions are constant in all the kinds of antibodies. So the variable region is also consisting of 2 different parts, the normal variable and the hypervariable region. So the variable region, they represent antigen binding site of the antibodies. So they are the site where the antigen comes and binds. So the hypervariable region or the complementarity determining regions, that is the CDRs, are lying within the variable range, and there are some zones inside the variable range which are called as the hotspots, and they show relatively higher variability in the amino acid sequence. So as the name suggests, they are hypervariable, and they are variable in all the different kind of antibodies. So just before moving on, we have to understand what is paratope here. Paratope is just the opposite of epitope. Epitopes are the spatial regions in the antigens which react with the antibodies, and the part of the antibody which react with the antigen is called as the paratope. So let us move on with the constant region. So the constant region are the amino acid sequence of the constant region which shows a uniform pattern, as you can see in the particular figure here. And the H and L chain domains are the light chain and the heavy chain domains, which contains one variable domain of light chain and one constant domain of the light chain, which are denoted as VL and V and CL. And similarly, the heavy chain possesses one variable domain which is called as the VH, and 3 or 4 numbers of constant domains which are called as CH. And these heavy chains are having 3 different kind of domains like 1, 2 and 3. And similarly, the heavy chain of mu and epsilon have 4 constant domains like CH1 to CH4. And let us discuss about the hinge region now. The hinge region is the region which joins the 2 different chains. They are really rich in proline and cysteine amino acids. They are really flexible. They allow the immunoglobulin molecule to assume different kind of positions, thus helps the antibody in reaching towards the antigen. So, and this hinge region is quite sensitive to various enzymatic digestions also. And there was a very famous experiment in which the antibody molecule was digested with 3 different kind of enzymes, and 3 different kind of fractions were formed. So this experiment consisted of 3 different enzymes like papain, pepsin and mercaptoethanol. So when the antibodies were digested with papain, they resulted in 3 different fragments, each having a sedimentation coefficient of 3.5s. And as you can see in the figure, the 2 FAB fragments and 1 FC fragment was formed here. And similarly, when the antibody molecule was digested with pepsin, then 1 FAB2 fragment were formed and many smaller regions were formed. And when it was digested with the mercaptoethanol, so mercaptoethanol is the molecule, the chemical which is known to break the disulfide bonds here. So mercaptoethanol, they reduces the immunoglobulin molecule and generates 4 different fragments, 2 heavy and 2 light chains, as it cleaves only the disulfide bonds. So they don't attack the peptide bonds. So the functions of immunoglobulins is the next topic here. So the immunoglobulins most important function is the binding with the antigen, and by binding with the antigen, it helps in the protection of the host, it helps in the interaction with the antigen, and also helps with the valency of the antibody, which refers to the number of FAB regions it possesses. Thus, a simple monomeric antibody molecule has a valency of 2, and depending on these valencies, the different classes of antibodies had different kind of valencies. And moving on to the next function, they have this effector functions also, that is the FC region, which is the region in which the antibody does not bind, but they help in the effector functions, like they fix the complement and they bind to various different kind of cells. So the immunoglobulin classes, as we have just discussed, are of 5 types, and we will discuss about the immunoglobulin classes in the next lecture. So this was all about antibodies in this particular part 1 of the lecture, and if you have any question, please post it in the comment section, and please do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you.